I thought I was lucky when I found that house. Cheap rent, quiet compound, no stress. But I didn't know. I was moving into a room where people don't stay long. Not because they want to leave, but because something makes sure they don't survive. Nobody told me. I didn't ask questions. I made the biggest mistake of my life because I wanted cheap rent. I was not supposed to survive that house. 3 people lived in that same room before me. The first one lost all his money and ran mad. The second one died quietly in his sleep. The third one, nobody knows where he is till today. And me. I heard my dead mother's voice knocking on my door at 2:30 a.m. If you are watching this right now, and you are planning to rent a cheap house, please listen carefully. Because what I am about to tell you is not a joke. That house is still there. That landlord is still alive. And people are still moving in. My name is Chindu. And this is the biggest mistake of my life. When I first came to Lagos, I was already tired of life. Not the kind of tired that sleep can fix. I mean the kind of tired where you sit down and just stare, because nothing is working. Money was finishing. Hope was finishing. Even my strength was going. For 2 weeks, I was sleeping on my friend's floor. Hot nights. Mosquitoes biting me like I owed them money. No space to stretch my legs. No peace. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I sat up and said, "Guy, I need my own place. I don't care how small." My friend looked at me and said something I will never forget. "Any cheap house in Lagos has a reason." I laughed. That was my first mistake. 3 days later, I saw the house. And I swear to you, it looked like a miracle. Clean tiles, fresh paint, quiet compound, no noise, no stress. Even the air inside felt calm. Too calm. Like the house was waiting. When the agent told me the price, I thought he was joking. It was too cheap. Not just cheap, wrong cheap. I asked him again, "Are you sure nobody is living here?" He smiled. That kind of smile that does not reach the eyes. "The last tenant left suddenly," he said. I should have asked why. I didn't. That was my second mistake. The day I met the landlord, I almost changed my mind. Almost. His name was Mr. Akoy. Tall. Too thin. Always wearing white, like he didn't want any stain to touch him. But his eyes. I don't know how to explain it. It was like looking into an empty room. No emotion. No life. Just space. He stood in front of me and asked, "You want to stay here?" "Yes, sir," I said. He moved closer. Too close. "You will not ask questions," he said. I frowned a little. "Sir, you will pay your rent. You will mind your business. You will not look for what is not lost." Something inside me said, "Walk away." But my pocket said, "Stay." So I nodded. "I understand." Then he smiled. And that smile, it was not normal. "You will stay long," he said. I didn't know that in that house. Staying long was not a blessing. It was a trap. The first night was peaceful. Too peaceful. I cooked food, arranged my things, called my mother, even laughed for the first time in weeks. I remember lying down and thinking, finally, my life is changing. I didn't know. That was the last peaceful night I would ever have in that house. At exactly 2:30 a.m. I woke up. No reason. No dream. Just woke up. And then I heard it. Something was dragging on the floor. Slow. Heavy. Coming from outside my room. SCRRR. 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 I sat up slowly. My heart started beating fast. I told myself maybe it's a neighbor. But deep inside, I knew something was wrong. Before we go any further, if this story already has you hooked, take 2 seconds right now. Hit that like button and subscribe, because this one is going to go places you are not expecting. Trust me. Stay with it. Then the sound stopped. Just like that. Silence. Dead silence. I lay back down, closed my eyes, tried to sleep. Then I heard footsteps. Right in front of my door. Slow. Heavy. Like someone that was not in a hurry. Then, a voice. Chindu. My eyes opened wide. My body froze. Because that voice was my mother's voice. But my mother was not in Lagos. Chindu opened the door. My throat went dry. Tears started forming in my eyes. Everything in me wanted to stand up. To open that door. To see her. But something deep inside me whispered, if you open that door, you will not come back. I stayed on my bed, shaking, sweating, not moving. Then suddenly, bang, something hit my door so hard I screamed. Silence again. That was the moment I knew. I had made a mistake. A very big mistake. In that house was not normal. What I saw inside that room. I pushed the door slowly. Very slowly. The kind of slow you use when you already know you should not be there. The door made a soft sound. Creak. I froze. Waited. Nothing. Then I stepped inside. The air in that room was different. Heavy. Like something was sitting on my chest. It smelled old. Not just old. Like something had been there for a long time and refused to leave. Then I looked up, and my heart almost stopped. Pictures. Everywhere. On the walls. On the floor. Even hanging from strings. Hundreds of them. Maybe more. Faces. Different people. Men. Women. Young. Old. Some smiling. Some serious. Some looking afraid. I moved closer. My hands were shaking. Then I saw something under the pictures. Words. Written in red. Still PAYNG. Almost empty. Ready. Finished. My throat went dry. I didn't understand it. But my body understood before my mind did. Something was very wrong. Then I saw him. There was one picture on the wall that caught my eye. A man. I had seen him before. Where? Then it hit me. Grace. She told me about him. The last tenant in your room, he died. My chest tightened. I stepped closer. Under his picture was one word. Finished. My legs became weak. I stepped back slowly. And that's when I saw it. The bowl. In the middle of the room. There was a bowl. Big. Round. Old. And inside it was money. But not normal money. Old notes. Dirty notes. Some torn. Some stained. And I swear, some looked like they had something dark on them. Something that did not look like ink. My stomach turned. Then I noticed something else. The money was not just lying there. It was arranged. Like it meant something. Like it was part of something. The whispering started. At first, I thought it was my imagination. But then I heard it clearly. Voices. Soft. low, coming from the walls, from the pictures. Help me. I froze. Please. My heart was pounding. I turned slowly, but there was no one there. Then another voice. I gave everything. Tears filled my eyes. I have nothing left. I covered my ears. But it didn't stop. The voices were not outside. They were inside the room, all around me. Then I heard my name again. Chindu. I froze. Slowly, very slowly. I turned, and I saw it. One picture. New. Very new. Hanging alone. And inside that picture was me. I could not breathe. My chest tightened immediately. No, 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 I whispered. I moved closer. It was me. The clothes I wore the first day I came. The same face. The same expression. Under it, words were already written. Still PAYNG. My legs gave way. I fell to the floor. My hands started shaking badly. That was when I understood. The money. The problems. The bad luck. It was not normal. I was paying. With my life. You were not supposed to see that. The voice came from behind me. Cold. Calm. I didn't need to turn. I knew who it was. But I still turned. Slowly. And there he was. Mr. Akoy. Standing at the door. Smiling. The way he smiled. It was not human. There was no warmth. No anger. No emotion. Just satisfaction. Like someone watching something they owned. You people always do this, he said softly. I couldn't speak. My mouth was dry. My body felt weak. You enter quietly, then you start looking for what is not lost. He stepped closer. I tried to stand, but my legs refused. What is this? I finally forced out. He tilted his head. This, he said. Then he looked around the room. This is my work. The truth I was not ready for. I shook my head slowly. No, this is not possible. He laughed. Soft. Slow. You think your life started getting hard by chance. My chest tightened. You think your money disappeared by mistake. Tears rolled down my face. No. He crouched down in front of me. Close. Too close. This house feeds me, he said quietly. My heart nearly stopped. Every tenant gives something. He pointed to the pictures. Some give money. Some give peace. Some give their mind. He paused, then smiled wider. And some give their life. I tried to run, but I could. My body refused to move. It was like something was holding me down. My chest felt heavy. My head was spinning. You are already part of it, he said. No, I whispered. Yes, he replied calmly. He stood up slowly. You started paying from the first day. Everything started making sense. The money. The bad luck. The fear. It was not random. It was him. The worst thing he said. As he turned to leave. He stopped. Then he said something that broke me completely. You should have left after the first night. Then he walked out, leaving me there, on the floor, inside that room, surrounded by people who had already lost everything. I don't know how long I stayed there. Maybe minutes, maybe hours. But one thought kept repeating in my head. If I don't leave now, I will die here. That thought gave me strength. Small, but enough. I forced my body up. My legs were weak, but I stood. And then I ran. I ran, but something followed me. The moment I stepped out of that room, I knew something was wrong. The compound did not look the same. It was still night, but the darkness felt thicker, heavier. The air felt alive. I didn't stop. I didn't think. I just ran, barefoot, straight toward my room. My heart was beating like it wanted to tear out of my chest. Thump, thump, thump. I reached my door, opened it fast, entered, locked it immediately. Then I pushed my back against the door, breathing hard, sweating, shaking. I'm leaving tomorrow, I whispered. But deep inside, something told me, you are not leaving that easily. The knocking started immediately. At first, it was soft. Tap, tap, tap. I froze. Slowly, I turned my head toward the door. Tap, tap, tap. Then the voice came. Chindu. My whole body went cold. It was not my mother's voice this time. It was many voices, mixed together. Men, women, old, young, all calling my name at once. Chindu, open. Let us in. Help us. I covered my ears. Stop, I shouted. But it didn't stop. The knocking grew louder. Bang, bang, bang. The door started shaking, like something heavy was pushing it, trying to come inside. The walls started moving. Then something happened. Something I can never forget. The walls of my room started making sound. Crack, crack, crack. I looked around in fear. The paint on the wall was moving, like something was inside it, trying to come out. Shapes started forming. Faces, human faces, stretching through the wall. Mouths open, eyes wide. Help us. I screamed. I ran to the corner of the room, crying, shaking. This is not real. This is not real. But it was real. Too real. Then I saw my reflection. I don't know why, but I looked at my mirror, and what I saw almost stopped my heart. My face was changing. Slowly, my eyes looked tired, empty, like the other tenants, like something was draining me. No, I whispered. I stepped closer. Then I saw it clearly. My reflection smiled, but I was not smiling. I jumped back. No, no, no. The voice inside my room. Then I heard it. Right behind me. Inside my room. You cannot run. I turned slowly. Mr. Akoy was standing there. Inside my room. I didn't see the door open. I didn't hear him enter. But he was there, watching me. You belong here now. I shook my head. No, I'm leaving. I don't want this. He smiled. You think leaving is by walking out. My chest tightened. You are already tied to this place. He stepped closer. Your name is there. My mind flashed back to the picture. Still paying. Tears rushed down my face. What do you want from me? I cried. He looked at me calmly. Everything. I tried to fight back. I don't know where the strength came from. Maybe fear. Maybe anger. But I stood up. I will not stay here, I shouted. I ran toward the door. Pulled it open. and ran outside. The compound was not normal anymore. The moment I stepped out, I stopped. Everything had changed. The compound was full of people, but not normal people. They were standing still, looking at me. All of them. Their eyes empty, faces pale. Some of them I recognized from the pictures. They started walking toward me, slowly, step by step. No sound, just movement. I stepped back. No, stay away from me. But they didn't stop. Join us. One of them whispered. You are already one of us. My heart felt like it would stop. Then I saw Grace. She stepped forward. Her face was different. Empty. No emotion. Grace, I called. She looked at me and smiled. But it was not her smile. You should have left, she said softly. My chest broke. I ran again. I turned and ran toward the gate. But the gate was closed. Tightly. I pulled it. It didn't move. I pulled harder. Nothing. Then I heard footsteps behind me. Slow. I didn't turn. I already knew. You can't leave. His voice again. Right behind me. This is your home now. I turned slowly. He was standing there. Calm. Like nothing was happening. Like all of this was normal. The final push. I don't know what came over me. But I shouted. No. And I pushed the gate with everything in me. Every strength I had left. Every fear. Every anger. Every drop of life. And suddenly, the gate opened. I escaped. I didn't look back. I ran. Out of the compound. Into the street. Cars. Noise. People. Life. Normal life. But behind me, I heard it. Chindu. I didn't stop. I kept running. And I never went back. I thought it was over. I was wrong. I didn't stop running until my legs gave up. I ran like something was chasing me. Even when I reached the main road. Even when I saw cars. Even when I saw people. I still didn't feel safe. I finally stopped near a roadside shop. Bent over. Breathing hard. Sweating like I had just escaped death. Guy, are you okay? Someone asked. I couldn't answer. I just shook my head. Because how do you explain something like that? That night I didn't go back. I couldn't. Even if you paid me all the money in the world. I would not step near that place again. I lost everything, but I was alive. The next day, reality hit me. Everything I owned was still in that house. My clothes. My documents. My money. Everything. Gone. I went back to Emeka. When he saw me, he froze. Chindu, what happened to you? I looked at him. And for the first time, I broke down. I cried. Like a child. Everything I had been holding inside came out. The fear. The confusion. The shock. He didn't interrupt. He just listened. When I finished, he was quiet for a long time. Then he said slowly, I warned you. Life slowly came back, but not fully. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, my life started coming back. I got another place. A normal one. My money stopped disappearing. My mind became clearer. I started sleeping again. But not fully. Because sometimes, At night, I would wake up suddenly, at exactly 2:30 a.m., my heart beating fast, sweat all over my body, and even when everywhere was quiet, I would still hear it. Soft, faint, S-C-R-R-R, 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 like something being dragged on the floor. The night I almost went back. One night something strange happened. I had a dream. I was standing in front of that house again. The gate was open, and someone was calling me. Chindu. I turned. It was my mother. Smiling. My son, come back, she said. I took a step forward. Then suddenly, her face changed. Her smile stretched too wide. Her eyes became empty. And her voice, you didn't finish paying. I woke up immediately, shouting, sweating, my heart almost jumping out of my chest. That was the night I knew I was not completely free. What Emeka told me months later. One afternoon, Emeka came back from work with a strange look on his face. Guy, he said slowly. I looked up. What? That your old house? My chest tightened immediately. What about it? He hesitated, then said it. New people have moved in. My stomach dropped. Who? A family, husband, wife, and 2 kids. I stood up immediately. No, they need to leave. Emeka shook his head. How will you tell them? I didn't know. I didn't even know their names. But I knew one thing. They were in danger. I went back from far away. I told myself I would not go back. But I couldn't rest. So one evening, I went. Not inside. Just close. I stood across the street, looking at the compound from far. Everything looked normal. Too normal. Children were playing inside, laughing, running around, like nothing was wrong, like that place was safe. My chest felt heavy. Then I saw him, Mr. Akoi, standing at the gate, watching them, smiling, that same smile. Then something happened. One of the children, a small boy, stopped playing. He turned slowly and looked straight at me from inside the compound. Our eyes met, and in that moment, my blood ran cold because his face changed. Just for a second, his smile disappeared, and his eyes became empty, just like the others. Then he raised his hand slowly and waved at me. The most terrifying part. At first, I thought he was just greeting me. But then I saw his lips move. And even from that distance, I could read it clearly. Help me. I stepped back immediately, my heart pounding. No. Then suddenly, Mr. Akoi turned and looked straight at me from across the street. Our eyes met, and he smiled. That smile meant only one thing. He knew I came back. He knew I was watching. And worse, he knew I couldn't do anything. Why I'm telling you this? That house is still there. That landlord is still alive. And people are still moving in, looking for cheap rent, looking for peace, looking for a better life. But they don't know. Some houses don't give you a better life. They take it, piece by piece, until there is nothing left. The truth I still don't understand. Till today, I still ask myself one question. Why did I survive? Because everyone else did not. Sometimes I feel like I didn't really escape. Like a part of me is still there. Inside that room. On that wall. Under that word. Still PAYNG. Final warning. If you ever see a house that is too cheap, too quiet, too perfect, ask questions. Because some landlords are not just collecting rent. They are collecting lives. Even now. Sometimes. Late at night. When everywhere is silent. I still hear it. Soft. Slow. SCRRR. SCRRR. And a voice. Not loud. Not angry. Just calm. Calling a name. Not mine. Not anymore. But maybe. The next person moving in. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional and captivating stories like this. And drop a comment about your experience if you have had such encounter with your landlord. I want to know what you think. See you in the next one.